Hello, okay, another update on our 18 unit purchase. So we are in Chicago. I am in the hotel room. We just got in tonight. We have the inspection scheduled for tomorrow morning at 9:30. So we'll be going and finally getting to see the property. We're gonna plan to get there early and just kind of drive around the area, get a feel for the area, the neighborhood, things like that. See if it's an area that we like and that we want to invest in now that we can actually physically be here. So over the weekend, not a ton, a little back and forth with some lenders, but most people were not working on the weekend, so didn't do too much. I did look at the comparison of doing a loan. So a couple of the loan options that we've been looking at, one of them is a 30 to 35% down payment with around a 6.5% interest rate, but a 5-year prepayment penalty. And there is a step down. And then the other option is around a 20% down payment, maybe 25, a 7.5% interest rate, but no prepayment penalty. And their fees were like just a few $1,000s, where the other one, their fees were, I think that one was close to somewhere between 15 and 20,000. Majority of the loans we looked at, the origination fee and the loan fees were around 15 to 20,000 plus a few $1,000 of miscellaneous things at most. So, when comparing those two, I'm leaning towards us doing the lower down payment with a higher interest rate and no prepayment penalty. Because looking at what, even though our payment will be higher, so our cash flow would be lower, I mean, essentially we'll be losing money until we get it stabilized. But the potential of being able to refinance once we get the rents up to market rents, that will increase our NOI, that'll increase the value of the property. Then we'd be able to refinance, potentially take some money out, maybe get some of our capital back, and have, even if it ends up being the same interest rate, just estimating what the value could potentially be on this property and just some of the things we plan to do, we'd still be in a better position with doing a higher interest rate and a lower down payment right now, than putting more money into the down payment and having the lower interest rate right now. So we still have to kind of finalize some of that and make sure, talk to the lenders. We're still waiting to hear back on a couple of them. We need to get going on that though, because that's going to be, we're definitely cutting it closing by the end of the year right now. So specifically because we've got Thanksgiving to deal with and Christmas to deal with. So we need to get the lender buttoned down in the next couple days at most and really start to get that process going. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at now. So once we kind of see the property and talk to the property manager and get kind of a better idea of, this is kind of our thought on the business plan and getting things to market rent, does this line up with what the property manager feels we can do, and just make sure kind of all of our assumptions, just start going through that due diligence process. Are our assumptions accurate? Can we execute what we think we can? And like I said, the numbers look better being able to do a lower down payment with a higher interest rate right now and then refinance in a year or two, and be able to get some of our capital back, which will be nice. So that's what we're looking at now. We will definitely be taking a lot of videos tomorrow while we're walking the property and going through all the due diligence process. We're also going to see some other properties while we're here. Obviously our plan is to go through on this 18 unit, but if something does happen, we might as well see as many properties as we can while we're here. So we've got potentially 1 or 2 other properties to see tomorrow, 4 properties that we're going to see on Wednesday, and then 1 Thursday morning before we have to get to the airport. So we'll be very busy the next couple of days looking at properties. But while we're here, we want to take advantage, and we want to make sure that we are seeing as many properties and neighborhoods and areas that we can. So if something does happen with this one, or just in the future, we have a good idea of the different neighborhoods, the different areas, things like that. So that is our update right now, and we will be sharing some videos and what we find during our inspection tomorrow. So stay tuned. Oh, and if you know anyone who is looking to buy a multifamily, who is interested in the process, share this video with them. Subscribe, follow. I'll be doing videos like this as we go throughout the entire process of buying this property. And if you're looking to invest with people and you're looking to passively invest in multifamily and you're curious what things operators should be looking at, definitely follow along and learn what operators look at, what they're doing. You know, when I was talking about looking at the numbers, I'm really trying to stress test this property and figure out what's the best way to purchase it. What's our worst case scenario with rents? What's our worst case scenario with lending? If we only get up to the conservative level of our rents, and that's what I'm looking at. Like when I'm looking at our numbers, if I can only get to the conservative number and we refinance and our interest rate is still in the 7s, what do we look like in a couple years? So things like that, if you're looking to invest, I will be sharing and talking about, so you can learn what you want to ask operators, what you want to make sure they do. You want to make sure that they are stress testing this and not just being all rosy and, yeah, we can raise rents every year this much and everything's going to go perfect. So you want to make sure that whoever you invest with is looking on the conservative side, is looking at, okay, what's some worst case scenarios, what's going to happen if X, Y, and Z happens, what does this deal look like? So follow along, subscribe. Be doing videos pretty much every day as we go throughout this process and be closing on this by the end of the year. So